Hello, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and fitness trainer, and I'm really excited to be back on the YouTube channel with 7 ways to curb hunger when fasting. So I took the month of December off. I do that every year. December is a month of personal development. This year, my personal development goal was to get certified as a yoga teacher. So I went through a certification course, and I just have to submit the last exam to be officially certified as a yoga instructor. And on top of that, I am creating my Moving with Intention program. It's going to be amazing. I'll tell you more about that in a future video. As far as today's video goes, learning how to curb hunger when fasting is a very important skill for anyone who practices intermittent fasting or any type of fasting. And the reason I wanted to share this video today is that I'm just coming out of a 5-day modified fast that I did with my private Facebook community, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed doing that as a group. And I actually learned tons myself, which is a very humbling experience as a teacher when you learn from your students. So I put those tips together for you. I think you'll find them very useful. And by the way, if you're curious about this private modified fasting Facebook community that I have, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can join by clicking on that link. Lastly, as usual, you can find all the information that I'll be sharing in this video by reading my blog post if you would rather do that. I will also add the link to my blog post in the description about how to curb hunger when fasting. Well, the number one tip that I have is to drink at least 2 liters of water a day. I think this one maybe is not earth-shattering. Most of you know that water reduces hunger. You probably have experienced it before. You think you want to eat, you drink a tall glass of water, and you don't feel as hungry anymore. And the reason for that is that water fills your stomach. But there's another reason, and that reason is that sometimes you can actually confuse thirst for hunger, particularly when you eat very frequently and you're not accustomed to feeling what it is to be truly hungry. So whenever you fast, and not just when you fast, make sure you drink plenty of water, and that will help settle your hunger. Tip number 2, stay busy, go for a walk. Keeping your mind off food and eating is really helpful whenever you are fasting. As when you are busy, you don't feel the hunger as much. It doesn't bother you as much. Whenever I fast, I find that fasting during the day is not difficult at all, but fasting in the evening and feeling hungry in the evening is a lot harder. And the reason for that is evenings are often a time when you're relaxing and you're not as busy. And so I find that if I want to succeed with a modified fast, for example, it's better when I eat most of my calories towards the evening so I don't feel as hungry in the evening. So another thing you can do if the hunger is bothering you too much, go for a walk, go through an exercise routine, because on top of, again, distracting your mind from your hunger, it turns out that exercising helps regulate your hunger hormones. Tip number 3, drink tea or coffee. I find that the most effective appetite suppressant is coffee. I definitely notice that whenever I feel hungry, if I have a cup of coffee, it'll really help settle my hunger, and the effect will last quite a long time, like much longer than drinking a glass of water, for example. I'm not sure that the effect of tea is as durable, but tea is definitely another great appetite suppressant. And interestingly enough, according to one study, decaffeinated coffee suppressed appetite even longer than caffeinated coffee. I'm planning on buying decaffeinated coffee for next time I go through a modified fast and see how that goes, and if I do feel the effect longer, because I have never tried that myself, but I just thought it'd be worthwhile mentioning in this video. Tip number 4, consume shirataki noodles. That is something that I learned about in this latest modified fast that I was a part of. And shirataki noodles, also known as konjac noodles, have no calories, they have no protein, no fat, and a tiny bit of carbs, like 1 gram of net carb per package. They're mostly made out of fiber, and so they'll help fill up your stomach, they'll help you not feel as hungry, right? But without really changing your macros and your calorie numbers when you are on a modified fast, for example. Shirataki noodles are high in glucomannan, and that's a type of fiber. So these long and white noodles come from the root of the konjac plant. Tip number 5, drink carbonated water with flavored stevia. So we mentioned obviously how drinking water is an important aspect of suppressing your appetite whenever you're fasting. But another factor that comes into play sometimes that makes fasting difficult is the need to taste something. So drinking carbonated water with maybe flavored stevia in it can be a really effective method to handle this craving for tasting food. Tip number 6, go to bed early. I already mentioned that oftentimes it can be harder to fast in the evening. So, going to bed and sleeping through it can be very helpful. But on top of that, fast because it helps heal our bodies. Well, sleeping also helps heal your body. So why not take this time to make sure you enjoy really restorative sleep and go to bed early. I often hear those who go through a modified fast say that their sleep is amazing. So fasting often improves your sleep, and enjoy it. Tip number 7, remember that hunger comes and goes in waves. So when you're fasting, if you feel really hungry, it can be a bit discouraging because you're thinking, wow, like I feel awful, I'm so hungry, not sure how much longer I can survive that. But keep in mind that your hunger will not increase exponentially. It's not how it works. Instead, it comes and goes in waves. So if you feel really, really hungry at one time, just wait it out. Most likely in like 15 minutes, it'll subside. And I notice that a lot whenever I fast. Okay, so that's all. That's all the tips that I wanted to share with you today. 7 simple and effective ways to curb hunger whenever you are fasting. Always keep in mind your why. I can tell you, and that's actually a video that I'm planning on making fairly soon, finding your why when it comes to fasting or any type of lifestyle change is really important. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing, and that reason will motivate you when things get difficult. That's how you stick to hard things, when you know what you want and you work for it. You want to achieve that so much that you're willing to accept some discomfort. I know that when I was losing weight, the desire to lose weight was so strong that I was able to stick to any type of fasting that I set myself to do. So whether it was a 5-day modified fast, whether it was a modified fast or a longer intermittent fasting window, my desire to lose weight and get healthy was strong enough, and that was a great motivation for me. Now that I have achieved my weight loss goal and I am feeling amazing, I find it a lot more difficult to stay motivated when I fast. So that's something I'm going to explore further with you. We'll explore different reasons why together. And I think that'll be a really interesting video, so stay tuned for that.